Some of your legislation is moving through the process as we speak, Senator. It includes the reunification bill is one of those that's been through committee now, I guess, on its way to the floor.
Yes, so I'm very excited about that. We had that heard last week and has already been passed out of committee unanimously this week. And that is allowing someone who their children are in foster care, but they've checked all the boxes to have that reunification process completed to be able to get their kids back. And they're doing all of the things. They've had the home visits, they've passed, everything, they're working, they're doing their steps. But if they're still on medication assisted treatment, some of our judges in the state are not allowing that reunification process. And just to remind our listeners, medication assisted treatment does not get someone high. It's something similar to like if you have a heart problem because you've been a smoker for 30 years and you're on heart medication. It's a maintenance medicine because you have harmed your body with narcotics or whatever and need this medication now to keep you level. It doesn't get you high, but it keeps your body from going into withdrawals and getting sick. And so, with that, our bill would just make it very concrete. If a parent has checked all of these boxes, judges are not allowed to prevent these children from going back home simply because their parent is on a medication assisted treatment plan with their physician. With the statistics of our children in foster care, this is a no brainer. If parents have done everything that they need to, they've got all of the boxes checked, those kids are going to be so much better off at home with their loving family. I hope we can get this through quickly.
Another bill that relates to children and foster families as well relates to benefits relating to foster care.
This bill was heard last week and got out this week with unanimous as well, and that's allowing our foster care kids that receive Social Security benefits for those benefits to be put in a fund for when they age out of the system. So right now, some kids, if they're disabled or if they have a parent that has passed and they're receiving Social Security benefits, the state is just absorbing that money. What we would like to see and what many states are now working on moving to, several have completed this process, allowing a fund to be set up so that those kids have a little bit of a nest egg for education or, rent a vehicle, the things that you really need to help you be successful and to get started. And wouldn't it be nice for these kids to have, when they age out of the system, to have that little bit of money set aside to pay for that semester of school, college, technical college, certificate program. I'm hopeful that this one will make it across the line this year also. I'm so glad that it's moving quickly.
This one's got a lot of press. The alternate therapies bill is moving as well.
Our alternate therapies bill. And so what this is a pilot program for our veterans allowing clinical psilocybin study. So other states have had great outcomes, and there have been, actually around the world, there have been wonderful studies that are showing excellent outcomes for PTSD, chronic depression, opioid addiction. We are not in any way wanting to sanction the use of hallucinogenics or psilocybin mushrooms, whatever you want to call it. This is in a clinical setting with a therapist walking you through the whole process. We have had veterans come up and testify. It's been amazing. And some have talked about it taking 4 treatments and they were completely in a great space, better than they have felt since going away and fighting for us, mind you. I think that it should be whatever therapies are working for our veterans. They've laid everything down for us and their families have. And I think that they should be able to access this type of treatment if that's what they choose to. Pharmaceuticals they have so many negative effects and it's long term. And with psilocybin, it's a natural alternative therapy and it's not something you have to do forever. And it's not something you might have to do even more than once in a clinical setting. So this is a pilot program. I would love to open it up to, anyone. And last year our bill was open for anyone with chronic depression, PTSD, opioid addiction, but we were unable to get that through. And so we wanted to tailor it to our veterans this year. We need to get this study done so we have Missouri results. And then I think that, folks will see the same outcomes and be surprised as I have been at how incredible psilocybin can be in treating these very long-term chronic illnesses.
Different joint session for lawmakers in the House chamber this week, this one involving a message from the Consulate General from Israel.
Yes, that was so good, and what a great time to have him here to tell us what is happening, to have a message of gratefulness of America and the things that we have done to stand with Israel. Everyone listening that's heard me before knows that, I'm very much pro Israel. I'm not going to waver on that. I've had a bill that has passed through and is now law on companies that boycott Israel because Missouri has such strong ties economically with Israel. And it was really good having him here. We had quite the protests and quite the ugliness. We had a little meet and greet that evening. They blocked the doors, wouldn't let us in, screamed in our faces, and said, what do I think about all that's happening to the people in Gaza? And I said, well, I feel the same as I did about when you beheaded babies. We cannot forget the atrocities that they did to Israel in the middle of the day without caring. To think that Israel should dampen their response in any way. No, you don't poke a bear and then get mad when they eat you. This is how it works. They didn't have to attack Israel. Well, Israel gets to defend themselves however that they need to get rid of all of Hamas and anyone else that's trying to kill their people. America would do the same thing. It was wonderful to have him here. It was wonderful to show our support for them. And I certainly pray for Israel, as should we all.